So can you see these three things here? Yes, ma'am. Let's begin with this. What is there in this glass? Water. Does it have any color? No. So tell me, where do you find water around you?
River.
So rivers.
Lake.
Lake, okay. Sea.
Oceans.
Where do you get water in your taps from?
Ma'am, rivers.
From the rivers. Does it come straight from the river into your tap?
No, ma'am.
So where does it come from?
Tank.
From a tank. Okay, all right. So water is what? Solid, liquid or gas? Liquid. What is this? Ice. It is made up of?
Water.
Is ice solid, liquid or gas? Solid. Ah, ice is solid. So what will happen to ice if I leave it here like this?
It will melt.
When we freeze water at a very low temperature, it turns into ice. And when we leave ice in the room temperature, it goes back to become water. What is this?
Steamer.
Steamer. Can you see something coming out of the steamer? Air. You want to come near and look what's coming out of the steamer? Steam is coming out of the steamer. Now, what is steam? Liquid, solid or gas?
Gas.
Gas. And when water gets heated to high temperatures, water changes into gas, and which we call water vapors or steam. Now, what happens if the steam starts to cool down?
It turns into water.
It turns back into water. Does this happen in nature also?
Yes.
How does water get heated in nature?
Ma'am, when the sun comes out, the oceans, the sun cools it up, and when the sun has gone, then it starts cooling.
Can you see the steam going up?
Yes.
The water is getting heated and the steam is going up. Exactly like this in nature, what happens is when the sun heats up the water in the rivers, in the lakes, in the oceans, the water rises up in the form of vapors. Okay? What is this process called?
Water is a lifeline for human beings. We use water to drink, wash clothes, take bath and pot our plants. City people get the water supplied into their taps, which comes from sources like rivers, ponds, wells and tube wells, from which the village people get their water directly. But have you ever wondered where the water in these sources comes from?
Where does the water cycle begin?
So what we're going to do is, we're going to try and make the model of a water cycle. So you know what this is? This is a bowl, and what am I going to put in here is water. So in my model, this bowl is an ocean, and I'm going to put some water into this ocean. Now this, can you see this? This is my land. This is the ocean. This is my sky. Now I'm going to go and put this in the sun. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to form groups of 4 and make our own models. Are your models ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready to put them out in the sun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. what do you see on your plastic sheet?
Water droplets.
Where did these water droplets come from?
From heat.
From heat. What gets formed when the water gets heated?
Water vapors are formed.
When the water vapors cool down.
It becomes a cloud.
When the cloud gets really heavy.
It began to rain.
It begins to rain and the water falls back onto the earth. So what did we do? We put some water in a bowl, right? And we put it out in the sun and then the water started heating up. Can you see the water droplets here?
Yes.
And where did this water come from?
When the water droplets become heavy,
It begins to rain. So can you see the water back on the earth? So this is the process of the water cycle. And it's called a water cycle. Why?
Because water raises up and then
Comes down.
The sun heats up water on land and in the oceans, lakes, and seas. The water changes from liquid to vapor in a process called evaporation. The water vapor cools and in a process called condensation forms droplets in the atmosphere. These droplets become clouds. The droplets gather and then fall from the sky in a process called precipitation. The droplets then contribute to the streams and rivers and other bodies of water. The movement of water from land and sea to air and back again is called the water cycle.
Fog, dew, and snow are also a part of the water cycle.
This is a river. This is the sun. The sun's rays heats the water. And what happens to the water that gets heated?
they become water vapor.
They form water vapors and they start rising up. What happens here? Yes, the water vapors cool down to form clouds. And when the clouds get very heavy, it starts falling back to the earth as rain, completing the cycle. Each time the water evaporates, does the water in the ocean go less and remain less then?
When the water goes up and then it won't get less because later the water will come back down.
So the water comes back when it rains. What is being formed when condensation is happening?
Clouds.
Excellent answer. So water is getting heated up, it is rising, it is cooling down, it is coming back to the earth as rain. What is this whole process called?
Water cycle.
So precipitation is happening. What is falling on the earth?
Rain.
Rain. Is there any other form?
Snow.
Excellent answer. Snow. The sun is heating up the water, right? And what happens? What starts rising up?
Water vapor.
Who will tell me what is evaporation?
With the air and goes up.
Now who will tell me what happens when it's gone up?
Clouds form in the air.
Now the clouds are formed. What happens now?
It rains.
It rains.
And this process is called precipitation.
And what is this whole cycle called?
Water cycle.
Water cycle. Water keeps rising, rising, rising. Does that mean that one day the water in the oceans will finish off?
No.
Why?
The water go.
Yes, the rain is bringing the water back again and again and again. So can you all do a cycle? Start from here. Cycle. Thank you.